So what's good, y'all? Give me just a sec. Let me get this all squared around. Practicing going live. So make sure that y'all can hear me. All right. I think we got it. So good morning in the afternoon, right? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 1:12 p.m.
Just finished coffee. So anyway, I'll get into these charts just a little bit. Take a quick peek, right? So right now, Bitcoin is at 23,600 roughly. I mean, it was 23.4 a little while ago. Litecoin's at 44.26. ZERP's at 31.7 cents. Bitcoin Cash at 131. XLM is at 11 cents. Dash at $42.70. Digibyte at 0.00945 rather. Anyway, I had a limit buy trigger on Bitcoin. Excuse me. I may have said it. Well, I know I said it in a previous stream or video. I set that limit buy order months ago, back when I was taking profit in crypto. I set the first limit buy at 24,000. That one just filled. I set another limit buy on Bitcoin at 21,000. Mainly because I don't see it dipping below 19 when I look at previous market cycles. Others will say otherwise, that it could. Yeah, it could. But those were my price points. So, excuse me. Looking at Digibyte, right? Digibyte last night, Digibyte dropped down to 0.00870. Now, I had stayed awake or stayed up for like 29 hours because I overdosed on insulin, because one insulin didn't work and I had to then overdose, and you can't go to sleep whenever you do that. One insulin did not work. So I've now thrown that insulin away and moved on to the next one. So anyway, I went to sleep, and I guess, I feel not very well rested at the moment, but I do feel rested. So anyway, I ended up going to sleep early again last night, and woke up a little while ago, maybe about an hour and a half ago, something like that. So I guess I was tired. It really feels like I ran a marathon whenever something like that happens. So it's rare, but it's just what happens. So let me get back over here and take a quick peek. See what's... No, I don't have me up there. Okay, cool. Now I do. All right, so in Digibyte, I set a limit buy order in at 0.0075. That did not trigger. What did trigger was the first limit buy order that I set on Bitcoin last night. And I had done some calculations, some percentage moves last night or night before last, to figure out where Bitcoin would have to go based on a trading pair for my Digibyte limit buy order to trigger, which would have been an additional 25% off of Digibyte. So I figured that up to be 7%. Well, now I wake up and we've exceeded that 7%, but yet at the same time, Digibyte has not retraced there yet. However, overnight, like I said, down to 0.008 something or other, 870. That to me was still a great buying opportunity, but I still want the market to come to me. I don't think that we're out of this market as far as a bear. My personal thought on this bear market is that it is created. It is manipulated as a bear. That's my personal thought. I'll tell you why in a moment. I didn't bring a drink out here. All right. Well, so now Binance has halted withdrawals. Let me say that again. Binance has halted withdrawals. Most of y'all know that. Some of y'all may not. But, how else can you manipulate, excuse me, the left hand selling to the right hand? Basically an artificial bear market, because I'm not selling, I'm buying. And if you buy, you can't withdraw now from the exchange. Now I'm in the US. I can't use regular Binance. I could use Binance US, but excuse me, y'all. Sorry about that. But I do use other exchanges like that of KuCoin and Gemini, stuff like that. My goodness. So anyway, I did not have any issue withdrawing that limit buy order when it filled. So, I set limit buys and limit sells on KuCoin as well as on Gemini Active Trader. You have to apply for an Active Trader account through Gemini. So you don't just get on the Gemini, you have to then reach out to their help center and you have to contact them basically to apply for an Active Trader account on Gemini. However, there are, and I'm curious if Mandela, the Mandela Exchange, that's a sister company of Binance. So it uses the same books, the same order books as Binance. I'm curious if anyone has had issues using that sister company to withdraw from Binance's books, right? So, but no, I did state that I was gonna make another purchase on Digibyte at 0.009, then another at 0.008. But again, I went to sleep. It didn't even cross my mind to set a limit buy order at 0.009, then again at 0.008. I figured it would happen. I didn't figure it would happen overnight. But no, I still didn't get that price. But now I think I will go ahead and set limit buys just for when it does hit that amount, it will trigger those limit buys. And I have not yet created the account on Bittrex. So, but there is a way to do it on Bittrex to where you can withdraw it. There are a few limitations, but like, I'm curious, say if I do, what's this? Say if I throw $5,000 at Digibyte, right, at 0.0075, and for a limit buy order, would I then be able to withdraw that, 600,000 digibyte off of that exchange when that order fills, right? So that's kind of concerning, and not your keys, not your digibyte, and not your crypto. So I think we're all seeing that with these other stable coins and everything else going on. But as far as if I wanted to, right? Like if you were in control, or if I were in control and I wanted to manipulate the market, well, let's just go take a look, right? So if I wanted to manipulate the market, basically causing Bitcoin to drop down to 23,006 or 23.5 or wherever it fell to, in other words, make the left hand sell back to the right, but yet close off withdrawals, right? So what was that? AMC, to stop people, just to basically use derivatives to manipulate the market. And they all figured that out, that they did not have the amount of supply to service the needs of their clients. And I think we're seeing kind of the first squeeze of this, where they halt the withdrawals. So if we were to look at the market cap, the reported market cap rather. So reported market cap right now at Bitcoin is $453 billion. But yet the real on-chain volume is only $13.55 billion. So how do you get from 13.55 to 453 billion? It's easy. It does not go on chain until it's withdrawn from the exchanges. So that's the left hand selling to the right. And the same with all these other crypto, right? So look at Litecoin. Reported is 3.13 billion, but only $214 million on chain. So, go figure. So if I wanted to engineer a market to drop, that would be the route that I would go. Because in order to get to the reported market cap, what these exchanges are doing is simply theft. They see your stop limits when you put them in. So they know exactly where to flush you out, especially if you use margin. If you use margin, they make a killing on that, or trading on leverage, right? So when they see those positions on both sides of, whether puts or calls, long or short, they see that, they know how to move the market within the exchange to then report and cause a panic. And then how else do you protect yourself as an exchange? Well, stop withdrawals. So if you don't have the underlying asset, which it's proven right there. How do you have $453 billion worth of reported market cap volume, but only 13.55 billion traded on chain rather? So yeah, my first limit buy triggered on Bitcoin at 24,000. I do believe that I'm going to go ahead and set this limit buy on Digibyte at 0.009 flat. And then again, another limit buy at 0.008 flat. And then I have a major purchase sitting out there at 0.0075 at the moment. So, and I still have dry powder in addition to those moves. So, I hear other people speak of dollar cost averaging, which does work. But I've taken it a step further, and I calculated out where it is that I want to buy and where it is that I want to sell as far as on a trading bag, completely separate than a HODL bag. I have a HODL bag, and I'm cool with that. Oh, and also, I tried the Ledger Nano S Plus. So I set up the S on this computer and that worked. But I wanted to create another Ledger Live to set up this Nano S Plus in order to play with as a trading bag instead of just a Ledger Nano S. And even though I took up more space and whatnot on an additional hard drive to run Ledger Live, a separate Ledger Live, it would not. It automatically just pulled the original S Ledger Live up. It would not give me a second setup to where I could do that. So yeah, so I may uninstall Ledger Live and then reinstall Ledger Live for the S Plus instead of just the S. But I do not want to migrate the old S into the S Plus. I want to keep these funds separate. So anyway. Oh, let's see, the 15th, I believe today's the 13th. On the 15th, I'll be headed towards Illinois. I'm going to Peoria, Illinois, going to Clint Westwood's event. And Litecoin Lisa will be there. Many people are going to be there. Silvertooth, Paulie P, Charlie G, another Lisa from California. Let's see, Mitch will be there. J Mac will be there. Many people are going to be here at Westwood. So go to clintwestwood.net, find out all the information. I believe the main event is on the 17th. I'm flying in early to bypass all the hustle and bustle. I don't like being rushed at any event. So I like to get there early and leave late. That's just what I like to do. And then sort of treat it as like a vacation, you know, to be able to go and do more things. And I'm then nice and calm and relaxed. I'm not rushed. It's not like, you know, I don't like those events where, you know, you show up on Friday night, but part of then you have like, you're already 30 minutes late to the first event because your plane arrived a little late, or you couldn't get an Uber or a Lyft to get to your hotel or Airbnb, whatnot, and go back and forth. And then by the time you meet up with other people, you know, you're already 30 minutes late to the first event. Then right after the last event, then you're jumping on the plane when sometimes things continue on after that. So, and instead of rushing from here and rushing there, I'd rather just enjoy myself and have a good time and, you know, get to meet everybody. So, but yeah, Clint Westwood, yeah, of course, Digibyte. But I mean, I hold over 20 different cryptos, so I'm not a maximalist. It's just I see different crypto will do different things. And right now, for me, it's a buyer's market. I'm just looking around at some of this, and you know, I'm sure that the naysayers of crypto, like Peter Schiff and whatnot, are going to be out here saying, "See, gold did this, and crypto has fallen this amount in the same time." And I don't even know what the price of gold is. Alexa, what's the current price of gold?
As of June 13th, 2022, gold traded at $1,830 per troy ounce on the foreign exchange, down 2.30%.
Alexa, stop. So $1,830 plus $100 premium. So it's still $1,900 for an ounce of gold, right? So sort of my argument to Peter Schiff was that when I got into crypto and Bitcoin was $200 a Bitcoin back in 2014 was when I got into crypto. But 1 month, $1,300 at that time was an ounce of gold. The next month, $1,300 was 6.5 Bitcoin. So that same 1 ounce of gold is still worth roughly $2,000. But, 6.5 Bitcoin, even at 23.5, right? Alexa, 6.5 times 23,500.
6.5 times 23,500 is 152,750.
So $152,000 versus $2,000, which, look, I totally get the use case of that of gold, right? So it will preserve your purchasing power. That's true. But a lot of these other people come out and they share other things like with gold and silver, gold to 40,000 an ounce. And we all know that, yes, it should technically be at 40,000 an ounce. But is it? No, it's not. But that of crypto, what was that, 175,000? But I mean, when that same crypto was worth $69,000, per Bitcoin at 6.5 Bitcoin, like I said, I totally get metals for holding your purchasing power. So, like 1 ounce of gold will still buy a fine tailored suit or will buy a horse. I totally get that. So yes, it will preserve it. But, for these people who try to push metals, thinking that, in 5 years time, you're gonna 1000x your investment in gold. Look, anything is possible in any market, especially of today where we have transitory inflation, right? And their only their only tool in the toolbox is to print more. Because you look at Jerome Powell, he doesn't want to print more at this moment, but the administration does. That's their answer for everything. They don't care what the price of bacon is or eggs or milk. They don't care that gasoline is $10 a gallon. They don't care. They're already stupid rich. I mean, when you're $100 million, when you have a net worth of $100 million, you don't give a shit about the rest of the peons, right? The rest of the pawns of the world. That's why they're so disconnected. They don't see it. They don't understand. It's like this Congress critter standing up before Congress and to state that, she just, instead of the gas price, she just bought a new Tesla. Well, that's only like an $80,000 or $100,000 car. How many people have an extra $80,000 or $100,000 not in equity of your home to harvest that amount of equity just to go buy another car, right? But just an extra $80,000, $100,000 just to go write a check, Not many people. So disconnected. But anyway, let's get back over here and see what's going on. What's good, y'all? Let me turn comments on. I hadn't even looked. My bad. I just been kind of going. What's good, America? Hey, Daddy-O. Yeah, I wasn't even looking for comments, y'all. I was just kind of going off, but Daddy-O. How do you say that? Payush Arora? What's good, man? Open-minded Bitcoin. What's good, yo? So just another day looking at markets, and I had a limit buy order fill on Bitcoin. I set months ago. Back when Bitcoin was, I don't know, not at its all-time high, but I was taking profit out of out of other things, mainly like that of Theta and Digibyte, because I mean, like with Theta, I bought Theta at 13 and 8 cents, and then it went to $16. I sold around $13, which turned into like 3.6 million, something like that, because I bought $10,000 worth at 13 cents, another $10,000 worth at 8 cents. So I staggered in because at that time, everything was down and no one was paying attention to Theta. And so, same thing like with that of Veritasium. Veritasium was only like $3 or $2. So I threw an extra $2,000 or $3,000 at Veritasium just to buy, you know, one or two more Veritasium just to hold. And then after the patent was awarded and to Reggie, I was just like, oh damn, like what the hell just happened? So, but now I'm looking around at other things, but I still want more of other coins. Now, I mean, like that of Populous, right? Like Populous right now, I mean, is dirt cheap. And will it be something? I don't know. I know there was a lot of issues with, the CEO and all that, but really I didn't care at that. I cared more about that. That's like similar to the same argument of these other people going after, say, Litecoin with Charlie Lee or with that of Jared Tate on Digibyte. And I don't see that. I look at the advancements in the code. What is the code capable of? I'm not interested in another person's political views or their beliefs. I'm interested in, does this code solve a problem? And I was invested in Populous from the ICO because of, other things like that of invoicing. So to be able to finance small business, SME, small and medium enterprise. And because I know that is a huge business. So I was looking at that as residual income. And, so right now I may I may find where I can buy Populous and swap that. I mean, I think Change Angel still has Populous, PPT. I know Atomic Wallet does, but you also have to keep a little bit of Ethereum and whatnot in that wallet in order to transfer back and forth. So, what's good, Tom? What's good, Tom? Yeah, I wish you were coming to Westwood. Miss you, man. So that was fun. I've got some video footage of the swimming pool with a few people that were sunbathing, right? Daddy-o. Yeah, I'm actually going. I'll be at Westwood on the 15th, so Wednesday. So right now I'm actually procrastinating a little bit. So I've already washed clothes and all, but I haven't started packing yet. And I haven't gotten all my electronic stuff, like the different things that I use for, like powered magnifiers and stuff and other things. I haven't charged all the batteries up for everything yet. So I'm making sure I have all electrical connections and whatnot for like the GoPro and then tripod and that kind of stuff to be able to capture any footage. I also have to go through a bunch of SD cards, make sure I have space on them this time readily available, so that way I can capture like in 4K and 2.7K. I'll probably do the 2.7K. Last time I did 4K footage of like Clinton, Lisa, and all, the batteries heated up really bad. But yeah, I'm going to Westwood. I'll be there Wednesday night. Excuse me. Oh, wow. It's continuing to go. I didn't know that. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I wish you were going there, Tom, but sometimes it's for the best. I missed other events because I had stuff going on. So I totally get that. And like right now, why sell at a loss? You know, right now for me, this is a buyer's market, and I'm looking at. Okay, well, I'll dive in and show you what I was looking at, although you probably already know. But when I take the 618 and the 786 from the all-time high of Bitcoin, which was what, 69,000? Yeah, 69,000 all-time high of Bitcoin. And I take 61% off of that as a retracement. That puts me at, what was it, 25,900 or 26.9? Alexa, 69,000 minus 61%.
69,000 minus 61% is 26,910.
So anything under $26,900, I'm a buyer on Bitcoin right now. Now, when you take the 786, to me, that's too low. It's like 15,000 some change. Alexa, 69,000 minus... Alexa, cancel. What was it?
Canceling.
78%. Alexa, 69,000 minus 78%.
69,000 minus 78% is 15,180.
So 15,180. I don't see that happening, and this is why. This is just me. When I overlay fractals on top of fractals, I go back and I look, right? So here's 2017 market with Bitcoin at 19,000 as an all-time high. I don't see us dropping below 19,000. I don't. Because after that all-time high in 2017, yeah, we dropped down to like $3,000, right? It was like 3,000 and some change. Okay, which is still higher than the previous all-time high of that of Mt. Gox, which was $1,200 back in here somewhere. So this is back when I was buying Bitcoin, right after Mt. Gox. But it was $1,200. I forget what month and all that. I mean, now being in crypto since 2014, it's more like dog years at this point. It's like times 8. So it was somewhere in here, like end of 2013, beginning of 2014, where Bitcoin was $1,200 at an all-time high before it crashed and then just moved sideways for that year and a half. Sort of like what it did from these 4 peaks of Bitcoin, and then just traded sideways for a year and a half before that first little bump up and then rocket ship. So I don't know. I do believe we have more to come down, but I honestly don't see us coming down. Again, none of this is advice in any way, shape, or form. Just what I'm doing. So at 19,000, I that's like the line in the sand for me. I don't see us dropping below 19 again because of what I just showed of that, that low after 2017, the all-time low of like 3,000 was still more than that $1,200 as an all-time high of the previous market cycle. So that's just what I gather from looking at charts and whatnot. Additionally, right, like that $1,200 all-time high of Bitcoin, this is what I was expecting. I'll show you. So I was expecting for this market cycle in 2017, when that high of $1,200, basically I add a zero every market cycle. That's kind of what I do at looking at charts and whatnot. So like that of Bitcoin at 1,200, add a zero, that was $12,000 plus a blow off top to get us to 19, right? So in this market cycle, I was actually expecting, take 19,000 at a zero. I was honestly expecting $190,000 Bitcoin. I really was. Then plus a blow off top. But that didn't happen. At least not yet. I think some things are orchestrated and controlled purposely. Like, was this just another test of the system? In my opinion, I view this as more of a test of the system, like what happened back here in 2017. So, I honestly feel that there will be 2 more market cycles in order to test crypto before allowing it to go out into the wild as mass adoption. That's just me. I may be wrong, but I still see 2 more market cycles before mass adoption. So I think that these are different test runs. It's what it feels like anyway. So anyway, that's kind of my stance on like that of Bitcoin. But like when I go back to that of Digibyte, go to all. Okay, so again, we have the 4 peaks, 2, 3, 4. 4 peaks. I still think we're coming down further because when I look at the 3-month, we're still within that trend coming down. I actually, when I draw my support and resistance lines, I can't do it on here. I think we're over and above that support and resistance channel. So I do think we're coming down further. But yet when I go back to all and I overlay previous market cycles or fractals rather. So same thing, 4 peaks in through here. You had 4 peaks there. You also had 4 peaks there. So I take those fractals and I overlay them. And then I take measured moves. Like this time in through here was like a month and a half, roughly a month and a half before that big dip down. Well, when I measure that big dip down in Digibyte, I take the same percentage of that of over here after that 4th peak. So after that 4th peak, and then that measured move down. So 4th peak, and then the measured move down. When I do that same calculation, that same percentage move, that puts me at 0.006, at a price of 0.006 on Digibyte. Will that happen again? I have no idea. But that's why I put that limit buy order in on Digibyte at 0.0075. I hope it does fill. And I hope that the other limit buys also will fill at like 0.009 and 0.008, which after this, I will go ahead and set those. Because additionally, like even after that, that percentage dip that I'm talking about right here, when I take that same measured move down dip, you know, yeah, we dropped down. My last real major purchase of Digibyte was in this area at 0.0035. Now, yes, the low dropped down to 0.0024, but you and I don't work at exchanges. So, and, you know, whenever someone tells you they can pinpoint the absolute high and low, just run, because it's all bullshit. Reading charts and all gives us, it's more of a chance, you know, it's not written in stone, but, you know, it does give us more of the psychology of a market cycle as far as what to expect. So So I'm still waiting on this dip to come down on Digibyte, that same percentage move over here, to give me a price of 0.006. But will it dip back down to 0.0035 where I had that major purchase? I have no clue. I'm just going off of this measured move to give me a rough estimate at 0.006. I'm not trying to catch the absolute bottom or the absolute top. This is why. I'll show you. It's because from this movement of 0.0035, which the absolute low was 0.00244 or something like that. Yeah, there it is. From that all the way to the movement. Now, I didn't sell at the absolute high either. So again, run when people tell you, but darn it. So the absolute high, I believe, was 20 cents. So let's just count that at 18 cents. So let's just say we placed a limit sell order at 18 cents. From 0.0035, that's still a 51x. So if you bought at near the low of $1,000 worth, that was still $51,000. But yet, then again, if you threw $10,000 anywhere near those levels, that then became $510,000. This is just simple math. And this is why I love crypto. For me, it's a numbers game. This is what I do. So, I mean, look, bring on the bloodbath, you know? I mean, I still have a dollar cost average every month. I may not put it all into crypto. I may let it build up, which is what I recently did, which is why I have, 4 or 5. Right now, I got like $6,000 sitting on, in limit buy orders. Separate from the Bitcoin limit buy orders. And in US, it's like on Gemini. So it's not USDC or USDT, which Gemini doesn't have Tether anyway. They have like the Gemini dollar, but it's still just like in dollar form there. I didn't purchase Gemini dollar or whatever that was. It's still just like as just sitting there in cash value. Then I have another month worth of, another month on the side, just sitting in a checking account for the month of June is my dollar cost average, which I have not moved yet into crypto. So I built up a little bit of a position for this, and I took profit before and, moved that and took a bit in cash. And, I took my original capital investment into crypto over all those years. I put all that into metals. So I took care of that, a little additional. And then the other profit that I took out, I put that into the rental property, because instead of paying the capital gains taxes on crypto, I would much rather pay myself equity instead of paying taxes. So that's the route that I go. I pay myself equity. I don't pay taxes on capital gains. So that's the beauty of rental property, but not just like a single family home. This is a multi-family dwelling. And this is how I do it. And I do it through a trust, through the EIN number of the trust. I don't do that through my Social Security number. If I did that, I would lose Social Security as well as Medicare, all my benefits, all my, I have a retina surgeon, glaucoma surgeon, endocrinologist, neurologist, and a podiatrist. So, I mean, for me to say hello to a surgeon is like, and just routine maintenance, just to say hi, is like $700 to $1,200 just to say hello, which is why I couldn't take profit back here in 2017. So back in 2017, I couldn't take profit. I would have lost all those benefits. And my insulin alone is $1,200 a month. So I almost had to move to Mexico over the cost of my insulin. Um, Now I figured out how to do all this, and I'm trying to share that with other disabled individuals, how to own assets and how all these other talking heads of like Dave Ramsey are completely incorrect. You look at what the rich people do and then you learn from that. And running a trust with an EIN number is exactly how they do it, as well as having an LLC, an S Corp, and a 501c3 to be able to have all those other tax deductions. So that's how they do it. So anyway, I'm just trying to share some of that along, right? I think this is the third time I lit this cigar. But anyway, right? Because I mean, take a look at this. Dig this. This is what happened. This is the kind of crazy shit that happens in crypto, right? So let's say 2017. 2017, where are you? January 1st, 2017. I love to share this. Just with Digibyte, right? Now, all right, so Digibyte was at 0.00025 on average on January 1st, 2017. Now, December 31st, 2017, Digibyte was 7 cents. Where is it? December 31st. It did go higher, but it was 7 cents, not 14 cents. I mean, we're not going all the way to the all-time high, but just to 7 cents. So in 1 year, that's from 0.00025 to 7 cents is a 280x. So that $1,000 of that month as a dollar cost average in the crypto from January, that 1 month actually equated to me investing $280,000. That $1,000 turned into $280,000. So when people look at like even that of Digibyte, many other crypto, they're like, oh, it's only a cent. It's like, yeah, but look at the percentage moves within that. It's like, what else are you looking at? In my opinion, because like look at the same time frame of that of like Bitcoin. Hey, good morning, in the afternoon rather. But that of Bitcoin, right? So 2017, right? So January 1st, I remember it was at $1,000, like $1,004. 2016. So yeah, right at $1,000 for. I went too far. Come on. So right at $1,000 for Bitcoin, January 1st, 2017. And December 31st, 2017, it was like 16.5. So yeah, it went up higher also, but just saying on an annual basis, right? So it went to 16,500. So, yeah, December 31st, 16.5. Come on. Don't overshoot. Went to 16.5. So that's a 16.5x, which is still phenomenal. There are no other markets where you can do this. You can't do this in bonds. You can't do this in equities. You can't do this in metals. So, what other markets are there like this? There are none. So 16.5x in that same time frame, and this is the market cycle that everyone hoops and hollers about. But yeah, Digibyte in that same time frame had a 280x, right? So, I mean, and then what Bitcoin then went from at a bottom of like just say 3,000 to what, 69,000. Okay, well, let's look at this a little differently. So from 3,000, Digibyte we know had a 51x rate of return. Alexa, 3,000 times 51, 153.
3,000 times 51 is 153,000.
Okay, so did Bitcoin go to $150,000 this market cycle? No, not even kind of close. So when other people say, oh, it's not even a cent. Okay. As far as looking at the price, I know, but I'm just saying, as far as looking at charts and looking at price, it's like they're not looking at the percentage movements within those prices. That's the baffling bit to me. Like, let me jump over here to Litecoin even. So, and show you that. So, same time frame, right? So, like back in 2017, Digibyte had a 280x. Bitcoin had a 16.5x. Well, Litecoin had a 75x in that same time frame. January 1st, somewhere around there. $4 roughly. Just say $4 because it dipped a little bit like earlier, like around $3. So just say $4. And then to December 31st. So even the naysayers on Litecoin, it's just like, none of this makes any sense to me why they say things like this. It's a numbers game. That's all it is. So I remember it went to like, it went from $4 to $300. That's a 75x, right? Alexa, 300 divided by 4.
300 divided by 4 is 75.
Yeah, so that was a 75x that Litecoin did compared to Bitcoin at 16.5x. Okay. And like even this market cycle, if you bought at the low, which was what, 20 something, $29. I want to say that was April of 2019. Where is April? It was somewhere around there. Oh, wait. Oh, duh. I'm not even looking at the chart. I was looking at the price. Yeah, like $25, right? $25, $29. To what? $380. I thought it went to like 400 and something. It did. There it is. 413. So just say 400. So from 25 to 400. I remember a 15x of what I got on Litecoin. Alexa, 400 divided by 25.
400 divided by 25 is 16.
Yeah, 15, 16. So yeah, 15x in this market cycle of that of Litecoin. Okay, I don't understand why people. There's no other market where you can do these kind of moves. At all. I mean, like in equities, mutual funds, whatever. If you get like 7% annual rate of return, or even into that's stellar. That's phenomenal. in equities. And look at what just you and I are able to do in some of these markets. It's just, so yeah, right now I'm a buyer. Because whenever it goes on sale, why? When things go on sale, do you have a garage sale, and get rid of everything, while it's on sale? No. It's on sale, so now I don't want any of it. But the technology hasn't changed; it's only improved. It's only drastically improved. It's like this is the future, and this is the next system. That's what I don't get. It's like, there's going to be a point where, maybe 2 more market cycles out, where with crypto, just like that of the internet, right? Where people, they don't care how the internet works. They just care that it does. That's it. And they just call their internet service provider, and of course, all they tell you to do is unplug and re-plug in the router or the modem or whatever, and you just unplug the whole device and plug it back in, wait 30 seconds in between, and bam, it works. Okay, we're good now. They don't care how it works. They just care that it does. That's it. I think there's going to be a day and time where people are not even going to realize that they're using crypto as the fundamental accounting of their spending, of their daily spend, monthly spend. They're not even going to care, but yeah, we're here now. We're witnessing history being written, and I think we're on the right side of history, because even when you go back to like the Genesis block of that of Bitcoin, why was Bitcoin created? Because of 2008, we had no other option. And this is what I don't get, the disconnect of maxis of any crypto, right? But like that of Bitcoin, is that even when newbies find crypto, right? As an investor, I want to look at a prospectus and I want to analyze every bit of this company. I want to see, well, what else has been done? What else has been built? What do you have in research and development, your R&D? What do you have as far as marketing? What do you have as far as all these other tools? What are you doing? Are you, education of your employees, that sort of stuff. And it's like, they find Bitcoin because it's now being talked about on every news station, whereas years ago they used to laugh us off the damn stage, right? All these different gurus and whatnot wanted nothing to do with it. And same thing, look at Warren Buffett. Look, he missed what? Microsoft and Amazon and Apple and everything else. Really? Why you really think he would be interested in crypto? He wasn't involved. He was just concerned with Berkshire Hathaway. That was it. So, but he's of a different era. He's looking at, other things like railroads and that of different crops even. So same thing like with Jim Rogers. All that these people do is they buy an asset when it becomes undervalued. They buy an undervalued asset and they just hold on to it. And then they wait till that asset reaches whatever their target price is. And then they sell. And then they find another undervalued asset, rinse, repeat, do the same thing. It's all crypto is. Same thing. So, but I do crypto. I don't trade with more than 50% of my holdings. So I will trade with 50% and leave the other 50% as a hodl. So long-term hodl. And then just to try to, I'm not looking for dollars in rate of return. I'm looking at more coins, because to me, the dollar is useless. I look at more coins, whether that be Satoshis or Litoshis or I don't know what we call digibytes. We call them bytes. That's cool. Or tots, right? Because tater tot. So Anyway. But yeah, dude, we don't have any other markets like this where we can do this and better our lives, to invest for the future. We see the technology that's come from this, but yet again, like that of a newbie, they find Bitcoin because it's being talked about out there, but yet they don't do any further research. Okay, well, how many forks have come from Bitcoin? Because I think just now the news media is finally realized that they were incorrect. They were all just saying, well, you can just fork Bitcoin and create more Bitcoin. That's not the way that this works. You can create another chain, yes. You're never going to create more Bitcoin. Just like you're never going to create more Digibyte or more Litecoin or any other coin. Sure, you can fork it and create something totally different. It's open source. Go for it. But it takes the community behind it as well as the use cases and the development afterwards. But to see these people come into crypto and that's all that they know is Bitcoin. And when to me Bitcoin isn't even Bitcoin anymore. It was never intended to be a store of value. But look, if that's its use case now, that's great. That's cool. Whatever. I'm not hating on it. I own Bitcoin. I just had a limit buy order trigger on some. It's the Bitcoin BTC is the standard of all of that of crypto. It is traded with as a market pair of all of crypto. So it's just like using the euro or the US dollar or the peso or the bolivar or any other currency as the trading pair. So like if you, and this is a bit I did not understand, like that of El Salvador, like where, say if I were trading currencies, now I began in equities in 95, but if I were trading in currencies, right? One nation state to another, there's no capital gains in that. But yet when El Salvador changed and made Bitcoin legal tender, has that actually changed the laws? Have we actually gone in to debate this as far as for capital gains? I mean, I'm just curious of that because now that is legal tender. That is now considered fiat by a nation state. So why is there capital gains on that still? That's one good question that I have, because I can go back and forth from currency to currency, trading currencies from the euro to the pound, back to the dollar, and not pay anything in capital gains because it's a currency. Well, now Bitcoin is considered a currency by decree. So it's like I don't think we have an answer to that yet. But that would be one thing that I would like to debate one day. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so the newbies and everyone else who finds Bitcoin, why don't they do further research to see how many more forks have been done and what innovations, what technology has arisen from these separate forks of that of Bitcoin? Why don't they see what else has been built? Instead of my coin is the ultimate coin, to not understand that we're all in this fight together. Why was Bitcoin created? It was because for every generation of humans, these money changers harvest us for our wealth several times throughout each generation. Well, how else are we going to protect what we have worked hard for? We exchange goods and services as a store of value and as a store of our energy that we used in order to do that work, to be able to pass that along to our children and our grandchildren, just within the family. The family wealth is gone. unless you're one of the elite, when you have 100 million plus, and you could give a shit of what all the peons do. And truthfully, we're sick of it. Us peons are sick of it. So, I see cryptocurrency, all of cryptocurrency, as a solution to the problem of that of 2008, where now we actually have a solution to the underlying problem. So I don't care what they do at this point. Yes, right now you do have to remain partially in that system, but I am more so in crypto. And I think that some of the things coming, like CBDCs, whenever you hear CBDCs, think infinite dollar or fiat token, because that's all it is. It's a fiat token. It's not crypto. So they want to use this in order to control or tax our gains. That's all. They want their fair share, right? But meanwhile, for years, they're just trying to play catch up. For years, they dismissed it, all this other stuff. Now I think they're finally learning a thing or two about crypto. Like I said, they laughed us off the stage for years. And it's like, no, we weren't kidding. This was not a joke. It's actually the future. And, cryptocurrency, the last financial instrument created in the world was back in the 1600s. It was called a bond. That's how big this is. That's how big crypto is. No, it's not, the crazy prices right now. But look out 5-10 years from now. Let's take a quick peek, right? Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the comments and whatnot. I'm just kind of going off a little bit. But let's go to Grandpa, right? So back with Grandpa. Okay, let's go to all. 5 years ago, right? Five years ago of crypto. So 2022. So that's 2017. Let's call that 2016, right? 2016. So $400 Bitcoin, roughly, 2016. 5 years later, 69,000. I think that's going to be the same ludicrous figures for the future that we're going to see. But I see 2 more cycles like this. Then I see mass adoption. So that's just me. So how ludicrous is that to go from $400 to 69,000? So I ask you, where do you see your wealth, your value stored in crypto 5 years from now? Right? Alexa, 69,000 divided by 400.
69,000 divided by 400 is 172.5.
Alexa, 172 times 69,000.
172 times 69,000 is 11,868,000.
So in 5 years, are we going to see $11 million Bitcoin? Who knows? Who knows? But that's what numbers kind of suggest, don't they? When you look at previous market cycles and take similar calculations. I mean, will it only be half that? Look, I'll be fine with it at half that. That's cool. I don't care. This is, for me, it's more than a 5-year play. This is really the rest of my life and what I'm trying to build for my family's future. So So anyway, let me get back over here. Sorry, I just was trying to explain a few things of what I see, right? So it looks like the market's coming back up just a hair. Just a hair. But let me get back over here into this. Yeah, ain't no shame, Tom. Yeah, I'll see you again at other events, Tom. That's cool. I wish you could go. Top Shot Hernandez. Yeah, if you're there, I'll get to meet you. So I won't be hard to find. What's good, Gladden? What's good, man? Yeah, Digibyte is powerful. It is a powerful project. And I can't figure out why I can't go further. What does that say? I can't make it out. Did that? No, it did not do that. I'm not able to scroll with the comments. What's up, Marker? Well, let's see. I've been going for an hour and 13 minutes. Wow. I did not expect that. But no, I just wanted to go over a few things, with this market cycle, to share different things that I've seen since that of Mt. Gox, right? So, and where is crypto going? Where is crypto heading? And don't be afeared, have no fear. When you look at this as a numbers game, you figure out for yourself where you want to buy and where you want to sell. That's it. Because right now it's just accumulation. It's just an accumulation phase. That's it. Over the next 2 cycles, I see 2 more cycles, then I see mass adoption, where like that of 2017 even, it's like, we're going to change the world. We're going to do this. I was all caught up in that, but then I got to realize and to see that it's just a market cycle right now. Yes, those days will come, but it's they have to get other things, all the roads and bridges to be finalized and built before they can just let crypto run wild in the wild. So I do see this as a second big test for crypto. I think that we're going to have 2 more before they before other systems fail and completely die, which really, like the US dollar, right? So you take the US dollar, back in 2011, the US dollar, actually, let me go here with y'all. Wait. Stop screen, share screen. And where did you go? All right. So this right here, back in 2017, the U.S. national debt, and right now I'm at usdebtclock.org, right? So in 2011, the interest alone on what was printed and what existed at that moment, the interest alone became mathematically impossible to pay just the interest. And Alexa, What was the U.S. national debt in 2011?
In January 2011, the United States' central government debt was $13,996,800,000,000
$13 trillion. I don't see nothing wrong. I mean, this is just crazy. This is crazy town. This is Ludicrousville. That's exactly what this is, because additionally to the $30.5 trillion of which this shows, that's not correct. I honestly don't believe we have a clue how many dollars actually exist. And to add a little bit to this, look at what Dr. Skidmore and Catherine Austin Fitts came up with years ago, that the U.S. national debt was actually double. It was unreported. They found like $22 trillion that went completely unreported. Completely unreported. So just at that 22 trillion, if I were to add that to this right now, that would be at $52 trillion, of which we now owe, which even a child born 1 minute ago now owes. Now, based upon this, it shows debt per citizen at 91,608. Now, debt per taxpayer is 242,000. So even a child born 1 minute ago is now born into this world and owes $250,000 for being born. So are animals so dumb? I mean, we're the only ones that have to pay to live, right? But just at 52.5 trillion. But let's just double that. It's $60 trillion, $61 trillion. But yet you look back at the time of Reagan, right? You look back at like Y2K, when there was a big financial crisis, right? Yet again, another financial crisis. Markets are going to shut down. We have to bail out the banks and do this and that for, it was like capital asset management or something like that. You know the guy, I can see his face, but not his name. And I can't make out his name. But anyway, he was the one who worked within the Secret Service and all this, right? So to figure all this out, that's where what was that? I remember watching that live with the previous Fed chair, Greenspan, Irrational Exuberance, where they actually stated they can print as many dollars as they desire, but they cannot guarantee the worth of that dollar. That's exactly correct. Irrational exuberance. He used to wow these people, which, now take a peek at this. Debt to GDP ratio right now, based on these figures, which is probably more than double that, right? And this is just the United States, which is the world reserve currency for all these other currencies, which are backed. All of them are backed by absolutely nothing. The full faith and confidence of the US dollar. So faith and confidence backs this. Who's buying bonds? Right? So, I mean, after a 45-year bull market in bonds with the inverse yield curve, you're nuts. That's stupid. Other than, the Federal Reserve, I think, is now buying bonds, which is highly illegal and unconstitutional, right? So their basket of assets, right, which also now includes that of student loan debt. How is debt an asset? I think that's going to be a very, very hard lesson for everyone to learn, that debt is not an asset. Whether that be bonds, because that's all a bond is debt. That's it. But right here, total debt to GDP ratio is at 143%. Now, what defines a banana republic? That's 90%. We're at 143. Welcome to Ludicrousville. It's crazy, yo. This is just nuts. I mean, and look at the income tax revenue. Just call that 2.5 trillion. I mean, and yet again, you go down to unfunded liabilities. That's even more crazy. U.S. unfunded liabilities right now is at 169, just call that $170 trillion. Now you add in derivatives, which the law actually changed under Barack Obama's reign. So where I believe it was either Citi or Citibank, it was one of the two. I think it was Citi, rewrote the laws, and it was passed by our Congress critters to change that, where a depositor into any financial institution, a bank, a depositor of a bank then became a creditor to the bank. That is no longer your deposit. That is now their deposit. They own that. You gave them credit on that deposit into that bank account, which, upon changing the laws, they changed the laws to where if another 2008 financial crisis were to come about, did you know that they actually pay the derivatives first before they pay their depositors? So when you look at the FDIC, right? Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, to back your deposits of up to $250,000. But yet now they pay the derivatives first. So whatever is left over is then yours. So when you look at what their backing is on the FDIC, did you know that, for every, this was years ago, I looked at it and did the math. For every, I want to say it was for every $100, but it might have been 1,000. But let's just take a conservative figure. For every $100 you have in the bank, did you know that only 5 cents backs that after derivatives? And that was many years ago. So yeah, you're insured for $250,000, but they also changed this little bit, like the devil's in the details, right? So they also changed this little bit to where they do not have to define the term of which they pay you back that backing of the FDIC. So yeah, you'll get 5 cents on $100, and they could decide to pay you over 50 years or 30 years, whatever, right? So at that moment in 2011, the interest alone on the debt became mathematically impossible. Now we're just in Ludicrousville. It's like, this is all, it's like, we've been off the rails for years. And there's no way to fix it. You can tax 100% of every corporation of all the rich. It's mathematically impossible. So, and also question who is rich. Now you and I are rich, right? Not because of crypto. I'm just saying anyone who earns more than, what was it? The average income now has dropped. I think it's in here even. Might be in jobs. I want to say it dropped to below like $20,000 or 30, maybe 30, let's just say $35,000. As far as if you earn 35,000 or more, you are now considered rich. So anyone who earns 35,000 plus annually, including all these, major corporations and whatnot, all the super rich, if you taxed 100% of that, you mathematically can still not pay just the interest on the debt. And here we go giving, we have issues here within the United States. We have major infrastructure that's just crumbling. But yet, we give $33 billion to Ukraine, which, I mean, I'm not saying that anything happened in Ukraine that was good, right? But I'm just saying this doesn't make any sense. When you run a business, which is what the United States is a business, you run it into the ground. I mean, 33 billion, and that wasn't enough. And so we send out another 40 billion on top of that. Now that's 73 billion, right? What do we get in return? Nothing. We get a flag, we get a little, pendant to put on our shirt, lapel, whatever. No. So, but you and I did not make this decision. That was just Congress, right? Spend until oblivion, because we're already off the rails. I mean, why not just, we're already off the rails. I mean, but there's a huge cliff coming. And I just see Wile E. Coyote chasing a roadrunner right off of it. What was that? When he falls. But whatever, right? And all of these prices are just set by Wall Street and CME. So in Chicago. So, I mean, dollar to silver ratio right now is at $1,916. I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, and really, just with the silver market alone. I got into metals many, many years ago. But silver alone, did you know that it only takes $1 billion to completely and absolutely obliterate the COMEX markets? $1 billion would crush the COMEX. That's it. Justin Sun at this point could crush the COMEX markets right now. And I'm just throwing that out there for instance, because what happens when any corporation, Apple, Google, Amazon, Ford, Chrysler, any major company, even in tech, comes in and, because silver is used, they come in with $1 billion and stand for delivery, you crush the entire market. At that moment, every single circuit breaker within will trigger, everything will shut down, and then it's price discovery at that moment. That's how they control the markets, is with circuit breakers. $1 billion will completely obliterate the COMEX. Completely. So, I mean, it's just, we're in Ludicrousville. So right now, like gold at $14,115 per ounce, when actually they have more than 500 paper contracts to that 1 ounce of gold. So for every contract, they have 500 on paper, or they have for 1 ounce of gold, they have 500 ounces backing it, or vice versa. So if you own GLD or SLV, you know, you'll soon find out that you don't own jack. I mean, if you're trading it, that's one thing, but you'll never recoup that. So right now, it's showing here that paper to silver is 360 to 1. That used to be over 500 ounces to 1 ounce as far as paper silver. Same thing with gold. I thought gold was around 500 also, but it's saying 111 to 1. So, and they're not even hiding it. They tell you that they have there are market riggers. Really? And it's all in the names. Makers and takers, right? So, welcome to Ludicrousville. So, I opt out. That's just me. And I see crypto as a solution to this problem in the future. Now, yeah, a lot of crypto do many more things than just a currency. But it does currency really, really well. So, but anyway, let's see. Let me get back to, no, that's not it. I've got to go back here, go to share screen, stop screen, go back to share. I wish they had where I could share like 5 or 6 different screens. I don't know how to do that yet. I'll figure it out in time. So Digibyte has come down just a little more, 0.00943. Where's Grandpa? Grandpa's at 23,200 now. It was at 1 something I just saw. So if Grandpa comes down to 21,000, I got another limit buy order at 21,000. But honestly, I don't see it going below 19 because of what I showed y'all earlier. But that here again, that's just me. I mean, they can move the price wherever they want, and I think it's a controlled effort at this point because now you can't withdraw from different exchanges, right? Everyone's buying, but you can't withdraw. Litecoin's now $43.95. Wow. XRP's at $5.89. I mean, 31.8 cents. Bitcoin Cash, 131. Let's see. Stellar Lumens, Jeb McCaleb. Did Jeb McCaleb actually walk away from Stellar? I heard that Jeb McCaleb is no longer with Stellar. I'm curious if y'all know that or not. Or did he just step away, like go do his own thing and just retire, into the sunset, So I wonder what actually happened with that. Did he actually like wash his hands of it and he's done with it? Or, I mean, I don't see how he can be actually done with it. But did he like just walk away and just say, it's going to do what it's going to do from this point moving forward? So where, basically is Jeb McCaleb now? Is he like out of the picture completely? Curious on that. Also curious of other things, like why the SEC never investigated, XLM as far as Jeb McCaleb. So there are a few people I'd love to get in a closed room who were early on in crypto to ask a few questions, with all electronic devices left at the door in a sealed metal room, so that way there's no recording, whatnot. I have a few questions for a few people. But that's just my coincidence theorist mind, right? Not a conspiracy theorist, but a coincidence theorist. Because it's mighty funny that, for years it get called a conspiracy theorist, when actually we were correct the whole time, right? It's just like now, even with markets, I never thought that they would be able to suppress it for this long, even. But, whatever. So let's see, where did this fall to? 870. So I'm trying to look, like yesterday I was looking at this as the head. This is the left shoulder, and this is the right shoulder, and coming down. But I was also throwing in, what was that? Not Fibonacci, not Kondratiev, where you trade on 3s and 5s. What was that? The man created this back in the 1800s, where, let's see, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Yeah, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they come back down. No, I think this was the 5. Then they come down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we begin a new cycle where it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Are we going back up a little bit from here? So are we now about to enter a 5 cycle up? What was the name of that? I forgot. Let me get back over here and take a look. Excuse me. What's good, Marker? So, yeah, I just threw this up. I had no idea this was going to last this long and I was going to dive in this deep. But yeah, I do see this as a controlled market, a coordinated effort to drive the price down. Like I said, you cannot, on some exchanges right now, you cannot withdraw. So how do you control the narrative, right? How do you control the narrative if one were an exchange? Well, look no further. Right now, Bitcoin is trading at $23,244. The reported market cap, like that of CoinMarketCap. Did you know that CoinMarketCap is actually owned by Binance? I mean, just saying, So the reported market cap is at $443 billion. That's just the left hand trading to the right hand. That's it. It does not go on chain until it's withdrawn from the exchange, which now they have halted withdrawals. And the real volume on chain is only $13.62 billion. So how do you go from 13.62 billion to manipulating the market with that of $443 billion? Welcome to Ludicrousville. This is, in my opinion, a controlled, a rigged market to control the market to go down, to flush out these other people, their other positions. Because when you place any order, stop loss, market order, limit. Well, limit buys, limit sells. They see all of that. But when you trade on leverage, they try to wipe you out purposely so they don't have to pay that. It's a numbers game. It's an algorithm, and it's a controlled effort to flush you out, to benefit them. You know, so it's not a DEX. I mean, it's a for-profit entity. This is what they do. This is what, you know, different other places that trade equities even do. They see everything, and then they flush you out because they know that they can. So I don't trade on margin. I got hit with a margin call back in the 90s, the late 90s. Not fun at all. They'll take everything that you're worth and then some, as well as, you know, what you had in the market on whatever exchange. They'll take that, plus you owe them money, plus they'll then go after assets that you own. They will seize your accounts, you know, your checking, savings accounts. They'll go after all that. They'll go after your home, your car, everything, your assets. They will then wipe you out completely. So no, I will never, ever trade on margin again. I had a bad experience with that, and especially knowing that they see all sides of the market. They see every order and order books, and like I said, stop losses and who's trading on margin and how can we flush them out to where they owe us money regardless what the price does. They're just a bookie. That's it. So, yep, there it is right there. So, I mean, look at Litecoin. Litecoin reported market cap at 3.1 billion, but only $216 million traded on chain. That's it. XRP, right? Showing 15.42 billion, but only 429 million on chain. Like I said, it's a coordinated effort. Bitcoin Cash, 2.51 billion, with only 140 million on chain. XLM, 2.73 billion reported, with only 48.98 million on chain. Right? There's Dash, 463 million, with only 16.44 million on chain. So Digibyte, 145 million reported, with only 1.67 million on chain. So, yep, that is how you control the market to fit the narrative of which you want to do to control price. Now, will it go below 19? I don't know. If one were actually controlling markets in such a way, possibly, you know, the manipulation. But like I shared earlier, I don't see the price going below 19, as that was a previous all-time high. And before that, you look at Mt. Gox at 1,200. You know, so after the 2017 high of 19,000, we only fell to like 3,000 and some change. We never touched 1,200, which was the previous all-time high of that of Mt. Gox. So I don't see us touching 19. If we do fall below 19, again, I see this all as a coordinated effort. So, and I'm wondering, now I did not, the limit buy that I had on Bitcoin, that filled and I was able to withdraw it, no issue. But I'm in the US, so I'm not on Binance at all, not even Binance US. Binance has halted withdrawals. But I'm curious of other limit buys that I have, like that on Digibyte. So like I said earlier, you know, $5,000 on Digibyte as a limit buy at 0.0075. Will that trigger? And if it triggers, will I be able to withdraw that from KuCoin? Big if. So I think that's another way that they're going to try to control us and the market in the future, is through these different exchanges. And then CBDCs, or how do they call it? Fiat coin. CBDC is fiat coin. So try to remember that. Fiat coin is a CBDC. It is not crypto. Which I see fiat coin failing. I think they're going to try it and fail twice, because people are going to realize that it's not crypto, that it just means infinite dollar. So, I don't see that as working. And I also see it as an attempt to control the amount and tax the amount going into and out of crypto. So I see that as an attempt for control, because that's all that they do, is they're control freaks. So anyway, I'm going to continue watching the markets and whatnot, but I think I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. I've been going for 1 hour, 47 minutes. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. Go get something to drink. My throat's kind of acting up a little bit. And get this, get all this set up and ready. Get my limit buys put in at different levels. And let's see if, and go to clintwestwood.net. Go take a look at the next meetup, which is in Peoria, Illinois. I'll be there along with many other people. Many other people will be in Peoria, Illinois for this meetup. Should be fun, should be great. I'll be there for about 5 days. I'm going to take a little vacation there and go get to meet everybody and talk crypto and enjoy a few drinks. So yeah, go to clintwestwood.net and find out the dates and times. And there are a few different events. It's not just one day. It's going to be several different events. So yeah, I hope to meet y'all there. And y'all have a good one. Later.